समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Today we start from verse 16 and it says Abrahma lokaha punaravartinurjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. It says worlds up to and including the world of Brahmaji are subject to rebirth, O Arjuna. But he who reaches me, O Kaunteya, has no birth. Now, first of all, let us come to this, that this is the scriptural style of the Upanishads, that they teach by contrasting or juxtaposing two different ideas. The two different ideas juxtaposed here by like, see, if you put black against white, then black and white both show up much more, right? If it is just white and white, it won't show up. So like that. So here what it is he has juxtaposed impermanence and permanence. There is one result which is an impermanent result, the other is a permanent result. He says that till whenever you reach in the lok of Brahmaji, I'll explain it, till you reach the lok of Brahmaji, even then you are within creation. According to Hindu philosophy, Brahmaji is the creator, right? Even that I'll explain what Brahmaji is, huh? But just now, just think of this much only. Let's go step by step. Brahmaji is the creator, okay? The whole universe is the creation. Got that? Now, but nothing in creation is permanent. Nothing. So, even the creator is not permanent. Even his world is not permanent. Creator is just a concept. And loka, ye jo hai na loka, this also you must understand is a concept. He says he's talking in plural. He says worlds, worlds up to, including the world of Brahmaji. Now, what do you think is the world of Brahmaji? What do you think is the other worlds? We know only one world, a little tiny puny little globe, and in that globe also your country, and in the country your town, and in the town your colony, and in that colony your little house, and in that even more little you yourself. So what are we talking about these lokas? See, the word loka in Vedantic language, because here it is a plural, huh? Don't forget this is a plural. So what are the other worlds he is talking about? Each one creates his own world. In my previous talks, I have explained this to you. You create your own world. A doctor's world, different from an engineer's world. A musician's world, different from a painter's world. A teacher's world, different to a carpenter's world, and so on and so forth, right? Now, conditioned by that world that you imagine, you see everything colored by the conditioning of your own mind. And you project your own world. That is why we say, haven't you heard these phrases in Hindi? आप कौन सी दुनिया में रहते हैं? आप किस दुनिया की बात कर रहे हैं? यहाँ तो ऐसा होता है, वहां तो वैसा होता है. You also say, this happens in the world of politicians alone. You've heard? This happens in the world of criminals. not in the world of decent people. So people talk like this. So then what is world? World is what your mental makeup and what your projection of the world is. Okay. Now that's why he is saying lokas. Now Brahmalok, then what is Brahma and what is Brahmalok? See, Brahmaji also. Uh, Brahmaji is the creative power of Brahma, of the superpower. You know, one superpower rules the world, which the Indian philosophy calls, a Hindu philosophy calls Brahma. Okay, now that has different powers. So when it acts as the creator, it is called Brahma. When it acts as the sustainer, it is same power, is called Vishnu. When it is functioning to destroy worlds and universes, it is called Shiva. So these are just names given, just like you, when you function as a mother, you are different and your name is mother. When you function as a sister, your name is different and your function is different. Your behavior is different. You functioning as a daughter, again your behavior is different. The person is the same. When you go to office and you are functioning as an executive, you neither behave like the mother nor you behave like the sister or daughter or wife. Your behavior there is totally different, isn't it? The person being the same. Similarly, the main power, the superconsciousness, is one. When it acts to help you create, it is called Brahma, the Brahmaji. There is a Brahmaji in you and me also. We create with our own minds the world. See, the mind becomes a creator for you. Think about this. When the mind is not functioning, the world is in dissolution. Your world is in dissolution. The one who is awake, his world exists. So his mind has created a waking world. Your mind has created maybe a dream world or a no world. So every day, creation, sustenance, and dissolution of your world takes place in your own mind. Think about it, doesn't it? Every day you create, you sustain, and you dissolve. Dissolve your world. Okay, so each one, functions with this Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh power inside you, and you create your own world. Okay, now then, look at these. No matter what you create and no matter what you achieve, no matter what you enjoy, even the highest of pleasures that you create or you possess or you enjoy, they are all perishable, isn't it? They all come to an end, no matter how good it is. It will come to an end. So here, आप ये देखिए, the best of pleasures in the world, when it ends, what he's saying over here is that the Brahmaji's world also ends. It has an end. That which has a beginning will have an end, and that which has an end will have a beginning. The creation, if there is a creation, there will be a destruction. Can you think of anything in the whole universe that does not get destroyed? Maybe after thousands of years, but it will go to destruction because it is a creation. है ना? So then here's a punaravartinorjuna. That means it will come again and again and again. Creation takes place again and then destruction, creation and destruction. That is the pattern of the universe. You take even a plant or a tree, isn't it? From a seed, it creates. The potential is the seed. It creates. And then the creation, the flowering, the fruiting, the seed formation, and the destruction. And then the seed again from that destruction. So in nature, all destruction is creative destruction. Think about it. All destruction is creative destruction in nature. It destroys to recreate. So over here he's saying this only, that now read this sentence again: worlds up to and including the world of Brahmaji. That means your world, anybody else's world, including the creator, what he has created, are subject to rebirth. That means their worlds will destroy and they will be reborn. Worlds will destroy and then they will be reborn. But then the second line says, Mamupetya tu konteya punarjanma na vidyate. It says that, but he who comes to me, now not Krishna, he who comes to the super truth, the ultimate truth of this world, which is there, which was, and which will always be, is a permanent feature. And if you ultimately go there, if you can reach there, then you are one with permanence. There is no rebirth after that. So, juxtaposing here are the two things. One is creation, and uh, one is all creation and the worlds of the Creator, and then the Lord Himself, ultimate Lord Himself. Now, this also interprets as that no matter what you do, all the upasanas that you do, all the nishkam karmas that you do, whatever you do, they only help to take you up to a certain level, which they have termed as Brahmaloka. So there is a concept in Hindu Vedanta which is called Kram Mukti. Kram Mukti. Now that Kram Mukti is, that means Mukti, liberation in stages. Realization is instant, but Krama Mukti, you have to go through stages, and this is talking of a Krama Mukti. So even with karma and upasana, you go very high, but you still are in the world of the Creator, Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is a term that you are still in the world of the Creator. It's just a terminology. Don't think Brahmaji is a person who determines this or that. ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. वो जो हम लोग मूर्तियां बना देते हैं या कैलेंडर आर्ट कर देते हैं ब्रह्मा जी का, तो वो दैट्स अ कॉन्सेप्ट, अगेन द कॉन्सेप्ट क्रिएटेड बाय यू एंड मी. But Brahma is just a creative power of the Lord. So here, so it will take you very high. Karma and Aradhana, Upasana will take you very high, but only you will still remain in the loka of the Creator. You do not realize by that. You only gain a purification of the mind. So you do not get Amritatva. Amritatva is the permanence where there is no punaravarti, no punarjanma, na vidyate. That does not happen there. Now, all these, if you read Gurudev's commentary, he talks about kalpas and all that. So don't go into all that, just keep it simple, because kalpas are also a time unit created by rishis and munis, or calculated, let us say, by rishis and munis. एक कल्प thousands of years, उसमें चार योग, एक कल्प में चार योग, दो सतयुग, त्रेता, द्वापर and कलयुग, वो वाले. And then there are many yugas in one kalpa, and then many kalpas also. So they have calculated time from where to where, but you don't get into all those. You just say that no matter where, what, how, the thing is that if you are in the world of creation and Creator, all these karma and upasana and everything will only have results in this world only. Usse upar nahi. And then you will again be born. So he says that, but once you awaken to the higher reality, once if you awaken to the higher reality, you are one with that reality, never to return again. The example is again that of the dreamer and the waker, the famous example. That once you have woken up, you cannot go back into your dream. Many times the dream is very good, like Gurudev used to give this great example of at that time there was a carter, and he said that carter was going to hand me over a check and was going to say that Swami Chinmayanand, you have done a lot of good work in the world. So the US government is handing you over this amount for you to continue doing work. So Gurudev said, I was sitting across the table, and as he was handing me over the check, and I stretched out my hand to receive it, I woke up. So then, where is the check? Where is Carter, President Carter? There is neither the check nor the amount, no President Carter, no Swami Chinmayanand of the dream. And he used to say, then when I wake up, I am so sorry that I should have at least touched the check. Now just this is of course Gurudev's humor, but he used to say that. Now see, the check or Carter or anybody in the dream, where is he in the waking stage? Just nowhere, just nowhere. So just creation of the mind and destruction of the mind that takes place in the dream and the waking also takes place in the waking. You create understandings and misunderstandings in your mind, then you destroy them, isn't it? Many times your thinking is wrong, but you have built up a ghost in your mind. Huh? You have built up a scare in your mind, and then you destroy that, and then you say, oh, it was not like that. So all those things. So here, just think of it like that, that after awaking or attaining the wakerhood, as Gurudev used to say, you cannot smuggle yourself back into the dream. It cannot happen. You are the waker, and you very well know you are the waker. Everything in the dream is denied. That was a projection of another world, a temporary world by your mind. Come to the next one. Sahasrayuga paryantam haryad brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. Now here it says, those people who know the length of the day of Brahma, which ends in 1,000 yugas, eons, and the night, which also ends in 1,000 yugas, eons, they know day and night. Now, these are perceptions of perceptions. The creation and destruction goes on for eons and eons. Eons means just take it timeless. Thousands and millions of years. Things get created and they destroy. They get created and they destroy. So, what are these what are these time calculations over here? These time calculations have been done by human beings. Please understand this very, very clearly. This is a very interesting thing. You are conscious of creation and destruction. Okay? You are conscious of creation, you are conscious of growth, and you are conscious of decay. And these are constant factors, but they go on happening. But the true constant factor, that force which causes growth and creation and decay, that you are not conscious of. You have to think. You have to think that what is that power that causes these things to happen? What causes these things to happen? So whether Brahmaji is there thousands of years and then one day of his is thousands of eons, as they say, कई कल्पों का एक दिन उनका और कई कल्पों का एक रात उनकी. It only means, just in short, understand it, don't go into the details of these calculations. They are all done by human beings. And time cannot be calculated. I'll just come to that. Now, These are relative concepts. You will say, how can anybody live so long? First of all, Brahmaji is not any body. He is not a body. It is just a concept of the creative power of the Lord, human made concept of the creative power of the Lord. But if you, these have been calculated, because that goes on, it is anadikal se chala aa raha, you know, from beginningless eternity until eternity, it will go on, this thing. And therefore, the figures that they have given here of time are almost beginningless and endless. Compared, you see, time is calculated by people in terms of what they know or what they understand. देखो, पतंगे की जिंदगी, you know patanga, you know that insect that flies directly into the flame and gets burnt and dies. Okay, now compared to your lifetime, they are born, they breed, these insects I'm talking about, they are born and they breed and they die within 1.5 hours. Think about it. Now compare this to your time units. Wouldn't it sound like this? It would sound like Brahmaji's time units compared to this small insect, which in Hindi is called patanga. I'm just giving you an example to tell you that time is a concept and a relative concept. Space is a concept, it is a relative concept. Otherwise, neither time can be calculated nor space can be calculated. How do you, how do you measure space? Tell me. You measure space from one point to another point, right? You say my house is 10 kilometers from Connaught Place or Rajiv Chowk or whatever you call. Okay? So you are calculating distance in terms of 2 points. Supposing there are no points. In space, there are no points. Therefore, how do you measure space? Supposing there are no points, can you measure anything? Can you measure the distance? No, you can't. Similar is the case with time. Time also is measured from point A to point B is 1 second. From point B to point C is the second second, isn't it? Then like that. So आपके घड़ी में भी points बने हुए हैं ना? Your watches have those points. So from this point to this point, you calculate 1 second. Or from this point to this point is 5 minutes. From this point to this point is 10 minutes. That's how you do it, right? Huh. So supposing there are in time, now in time, आपसे कोई पूछता है ये चीज कब हुई थी? Oh, you know, when I was 10 years old, this thing had happened. You are referring to that time with another time unit or happening. Otherwise, if these two units are not there, how do you calculate time? Think about it very carefully. This is also the same thing that Einstein had said. You know, he's the one who burst the bubble by his theory of relativity. That there is no such thing as time and there is no such thing as space, meaning to say that you cannot calculate time and space. Space is beginningless, endless, and so is time, beginningless and endless. You cannot break it up. तो ये जो सारी चीजें हैं, they are only talking relatively. They are talking relatively. That means creation, when it happens, it can be the day and night of the creator, after which he also dies. Now, this is a concept imagined by rishis and munis, that the creator also dies. The creator also dies means he stops creating. Then he creates another world and another world and another world. So he goes on creating and destroying, creating and destroying. This is a pattern. Haven't you seen the sea? A wave rises and a wave subsides. Then another wave rises and the wave subsides. Isn't it? But does it ever stop? It never stops. So, like that, you have to see that time and space are relative to when and where, and also to the onlooker. टाइम, हाँ, टाइम को अगर आप कोई कहता है 5 minutes was, haven't you heard these statements that when you are in pain, you've heard people say 5 minutes seemed like hours. सुना है ना? How does 5 minutes seem like hours? Because the pain is so much and time doesn't seem to pass. And when you are into something very, very interesting, very, very interesting, then you suddenly say that, oh, 2 hours have passed and I didn't even get to know, because you are so enjoying that time that you do not see the passage or the length of time. तो आपको टाइम बहुत लगता है बहुत जल्दी बीत गया, कुछ टाइम आपको लगता है बहुत धीरे धीरे चल रहा है, isn't it? So that depends on your perception of time, not time itself, not time itself at all, you know. So it is the onlooker. Now then, see over here with all these concepts, Krishna washes his hands off and he says that for long back rishis have said all this, and I'm quoting all this, you know. So he says, when he talks of Brahmaji, he says that all this goes on and it will continue to go on. See, you imagine that there is no future, no past, but you have the present moment. ऐसा सोचते हैं ना आप? The other moments are concepts and ideas in your mind. Past is a concept and an idea in your mind. The future is also a concept and idea in your mind. There is no such thing. So you think that the present moment alone, but not even today. Just like other things are concepts, even the present is a concept of the mind alone. I have told you in my previous talk that their present is an imaginary line between the future and the past. The future is continuously turning into the past. When I say I am talking, I have already talked. It has gone into the past. So, where is the concept of present? It's a man made concept of time. Clock is a man made concept of time. Past, present, and future is also a man made concept of time. है ना? So Swami Tejomanand used to say that those who constantly dwell in the past tense and the future tense, they always remain tense. He used to say they always remain in tension. क्या होगा और क्या हुआ था और क्या हो रहा है और क्या होगा. People keep on working on that till they themselves pass from there. वो थोड़े दिन की हाय हाय कर लो, jump up and down why this is happening, that is happening, ho, this is happening, that is happening, and after that, none of it, isn't it? So, even those you are fighting against will not remain. You who are fighting them will also not remain. And the thing that you are fighting about will also not remain. That will also be destroyed. So, the concept, another thing very interesting over here. Uh, See, of course, concepts of time and space are with relation to either an event or an experience, and only then you can calculate them and say कि ऐसा था ऐसा था ऐसा था. Between 2 seconds there is a space, so you calculate from 1 second to the other second. Otherwise, there is no concept of space and time in Hindu philosophy. They call it Adi Anant. Space is also called Adi Anant. Time is also called Adi Anant. in Hindu philosophy. They had understood this theory of relative time and space long, long back. Our rishis and munis. That is why the concept of Adi and Anant. Also, they understood, which they have understood, that space and time are interchangeable. When you say, how far is your house from my house, you are asking about distance, isn't it? And your answer is 10 minutes, isn't it? So you have answered in time, whereas I had asked in space. My question was in space, but your answer is right in terms of time. So it is basically 2 points in your mind which you calculate to measure space and time all the time, all the time. Huh? So this is the bliss of man compared to the bliss of Brahmaji. Now then, one cycle is equal to char yoga, and then so many yogas are equal to one kalpa, and all that. Bosa, please don't go into those calculations. They are quite confusing and mind blocking. Just understand this one concept, that time and space are interchangeable according to Hindu philosophy. Also, that they do not see Radha. Swamiji used to give this example: Radha waiting for Krishna. Time doesn't pass for her. She is waiting, waiting, waiting. Abhi tak nahi aaye, abhi tak nahi aaye, abhi tak nahi aaye. And it seems ages to her. It seems ages to her. And when he goes after meeting her, she says, "Oh, you have hardly stayed with me." Though he has stayed with her for hours together. But she says, "Oh, you've left me. So quickly you are going." So that we have discussed, that it depends on the person himself. Now, compared to the life of cosmic man, let us call Brahmaji cosmic man. So with compared to the life of cosmic man, your life is nothing in in terms of space, in terms of time. Who are you? What are you? An insignificant little worm that is wiped out from existence anytime. Even that you have no control over. And one thinks no end of oneself. And one talks of destruction and creation and possession and the highest pleasure and this and that. And for how long? One has to be very, very aware of this thing. Now, in Hindu philosophy, there is a term called Hiranyagarbha. I am going into that. यहाँ पे तो नहीं दिया है, but I am going into it because we are talking of Brahmaji. Now, here, Hiranyagarbha is a concept of the total mind. You know, it is microcosmic mind is you and me, and macrocosmic mind is the total mind of all the people and creatures in the universe put together. Which, if my mind can create a world, then the complete mind of everybody, which is called Hiranyagarbha, can create the universe, is the cause for creating the universe. But both are delusory and both are impermanent. Now, Gurudev used to say that Vedanta is the only philosophy in the whole world, in the entire world, which calculates space and time. In no other religion do you get these kind of concepts. They are, most of them, based on do's and don'ts. Ethics, of course, because the listeners whom, say, Christ was talking to fishermen, simple people. So he had to give out simple concepts. Muhammad was talking to the tribes people of the Middle East. So he had to give out very, very simple uh, arguments to simple people of do's and don'ts. Don't steal, don't rob, don't commit adultery, respect your father, this, that. So all those. This is pure abstract philosophy. That, these are the three functions of the divine power. Divine power is only one. I had told you this before. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the creator, then even the power that sustains your loka, the power that makes you understand that you are a living being and you are in a world, that is the sustaining power. And then the power that destroys this back into earth, water, air, fire is back into that. Hmm? And the superpower is there always. It never came, it never went, it was there. It was only charging matter. So these kind of concepts are only in the Vedanta philosophy that you get, huh? So when you wake up from a dream, your dream world folds up. When you go into dream, your waking world folds up and the dream world becomes alive. When you go into deep sleep, the other true lokas fold up completely. Every loka folds up completely when you are into deep sleep, isn't it? So Shupti. So Brahmaji's day and night is basically manifesting and unmanifesting. That's all. See, Gurudev is given the example of a painter. पेंटर के दिमाग में जो पिक्चर है, he has got some picture in his mind. That is unmanifest power. When he puts it on canvas, it becomes a manifested power, right? For that matter, any creation, a writer, he gets an idea. He can't sleep till he puts it on paper and he puts it on in words. So he is restless till then, and then that is unmanifested power put on paper into words, which he has created, is his manifested power. So this also, the creation and the dissolution of the world, is unmanifested and manifested. Then again it goes back into unmanifested, again comes back into manifested power. And that is called creation, when the unmanifest renders into manifestation. Hmm? So this Brahmaji ka concept is, please don't think of him as a person or as a certain god who creates anything. He is the creative power of the Lord, of the one supreme reality. So when that goes into action, he is called Brahmaji. Like when you are acting as a mother, you are called a mother. When you are acting as an executive, you are called an executive. Same way, these three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So, acha, when does dissolution happen? The total dissolution he is talking about. Ke even Brahmaji with his whole creation dissolves into nothing. When does that happen? It happens. See, the world comes into existence because the total mind wants to express itself. So it is an expression of the total mind. Everybody wants to do something. Everyone wants to become something. Everyone wants to express something. So you get a field to do it. When the total mind of the creator, the total mind sleeps, the whole creation is gone into dissolution. जैसे डीप स्लीप में आप जाते हैं ना, कहाँ गया क्रिएशन आपका? वेयर इज योर वर्ल्ड? वेयर इज योर फैमिली? वेयर आर यू? Totally dissolved, isn't it? So this is how, this is what he is talking about. That is what is called pralaya. It is a technical word in Vedanta. Pralaya does not mean that there will be a great flood or there will be a great fire or this or that. वो सब concept, they are only pictures painted for ordinary people like you and me to try to understand. क्योंकि we only understand destruction like that. But a loka totally dissolving means the total mind, the Hiranyagarbha, the total mind has gone into dissolution, has gone into sleep pattern. So there is no universe. So the unfolding is called creation and the folding back is called dissolution. So we do this much today. Next time we will do the next verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.